3 people are rescued from a house fire in Milton. Today is Monday, December 15th, and this is 570 News on the Go, brought to you in part by NorthCentralPA.com. Partly sunny today, a high in the upper 20s. A South Williamsport man was killed in an officer-involved shooting over the weekend. Around 9:30 Saturday morning, state troopers and borough police were called to the home at 705 Fairmont Avenue in Southside on reports of someone threatening to shoot another person with a gun. The homeowner invited the officers into the house, and upon entry, 49-year-old Michael Hughes brandished a gun at the troopers. Shots were fired and Hughes was killed. The Sun-Gazette reports it's not known how many shots were fired or if Hughes fired his weapon before being killed. All persons involved in the incident have been placed on administrative leave. 3 people had to be rescued from a porch roof following a fire at a double home in the 200 block of Hepburn Street in Milton. Crews were dispatched to the home just after 10:30 Saturday night. A police officer entered the non-fire side and assisted the occupants off the roof into the house. A second alarm was called, and the fire, located at the rear of the duplex, was quickly knocked down. At least 10 people were displaced by a fire in Colpmont. Saturday morning, crews were called to the 1300 block of Scott Street to find multiple homes on fire with thick black smoke billowing into the sky. Crews from 5 counties were dispatched to the scene. At least 5 homes were destroyed. All the residents made it out safely. It is the second fire in a week in Colpmont. A hunter was shot in the chest Friday while hunting in Mount Carmel Township. The 24-year-old man was shot by a person who was target shooting. The victim was flown from the abandoned coal lands known as the Black Desert to the Geisinger Medical Center. His condition is not known. The body of a missing hunter was recovered in Center County following an extensive weekend search. An autopsy confirmed the hunter died from natural causes. The search began Friday night and spanned into Saturday when a neighboring landowner found the man in a wooded area on private property in Gregg Township. The name of the hunter has not been released. A 4th arrest has been made in a Center County child sex abuse ring. Over the weekend, police charged 61-year-old James Kobuck of Tyrone with 2 felony counts of child sex abuse-related offenses. He joined Samuel Friday, Michael Woomer, and Morris Reese, who are all facing charges for allegedly enticing underage teenagers with money and having sex with the girls in Friday's home while the acts were being filmed. A State College man who posed as a babysitter to get access to vulnerable children has been sentenced to decades in federal prison. 30-year-old William Welsh will spend the next 30 years in prison. He used online platforms and personal contacts to present himself as a babysitter that allowed him to be alone with toddlers who were nonverbal or autistic. He used the toddlers to produce child pornography and sexually abused at least one of the children left in his care. A Williamsport woman has been charged with assaulting federal officers at the ICE facility in the city. 24-year-old Dominique Harris was indicted by a federal grand jury in Williamsport recently. The indictment alleges Harris spit on 2 officers of the Department of Homeland Security. The deportation officers were conducting a routine investigation in Williamsport that resulted in the arrest of 1 individual for immigration offenses. Harris allegedly interfered with the officers at the scene and followed them to the ICE office on Reach Road, where she attempted to enter the premises in her car through a secure gate. When the officers confronted her, she allegedly became belligerent and spit on 2 of them. The maximum penalty under federal law for the offense is 8 years in prison, a term of supervised release, and a fine. And forest rangers in the Bald Eagle State Forest are reminding the public that with the arrival of winter conditions, most of their network of state forest roads are joint use, meaning they are open to licensed motor vehicles and snowmobiles. The state forest roads are not maintained in the winter, so if you plan to travel into the forest, be prepared. There have already been several incidents on roads in the Bald Eagle State Forest where the drivers lost control on the snow and ice-covered roads and had to be towed. When traveling state forest roads, it's advised you operate only 4-wheel or all-wheel drive vehicles with elevated ground clearance, drive slowly, leave travel plans with family and friends, and be prepared to call a towing service if you become stuck. For the latest in news and events, head on over to NorthCentralPA.com. I'm Liz Brady, and you're up to date with 570 News on the Go.